What part is it? Part 7? 8? I'm kind of frustrated because I was filming before my storage was full and the stream was cut short, so I have to re-film the whole thing. But we're gonna continue from what happened last. So we're gonna keep on recording from here, like I said. So what I recapped what happened to our beloved 2 friends that died, and now 3 considering Cyrus is dead. And I just investigate the whole thing. And I had to refilm it because it cut off. And I don't want to narrate this part anymore. So we're just gonna breeze over this and then we can continue. Okay, so now we're like discovering things about the room, the glass, his body, blowtorch, gun, fuel canister, and the kiosk. Appears to be broken. How do you figure? I'm just taking a shot in the dark, but I think the Monokuma file was printed from the casino kiosk because this one wasn't operational. Canon was the victim report if you want to take a look. Has the victim report. Probably some technology involving proximity or some such. I really couldn't say since that's some things out of my depth. I wonder if the kiosk being knocked over has anything to do specifically with what happened here. I can't say. The streak of blood implies that it may have been interacted with. But to what extent is beyond me. The kiosk being knocked over may have been the casualty during whatever circle occurred here, but the streak bothered me. It's a blowtorch. So that's what he was getting from the kitchen earlier. Huh? What are you talking about? You recall I crossed paths with Cyrus early in the morning. A bit before I started testing the rules by destroying the ovens. It was a brief meeting, but I was curious as to why he wasn't there as well. He must have smuggled the butane torch out. And you didn't say anything? Why should I have? I mean, you could have stopped him from afar in advance from whatever he was going to do with it. I mean, if Lyle stopped him, he could have prevented his death also. He's dead and he clearly didn't get the chance to do anything anyway. Yeah, but what if he isn't dead? The gun. Missy's revolver, the weapon that took Cyrus's life. The gun handle is covered in blood. 4 shots were fired, leaving 1 bullet. Quite a few people knew about the gun, so it might be difficult to determine who went to retrieve it. I mean, since a few people know it, I can't really pinpoint it on who it was. Because it was just on the table, I'm pretty sure. An overturned gasoline container, it's almost empty. Ew, what smells in here? Yeah, the smoke lounge wasn't really a pleasant place to begin with, but this? What do you mean? Well, when Ash and I visited the smoke lounge for the first time, the air was heavy with cigar smoke, I'm assuming. So to see liquor and gasoline spilled all over the place and adding to the smell, it's not helping much, I'll say that. I see, I didn't visit this place beforehand, so I can't really say, but I'll take your word for it. She seems too young to be here anyways. But gasoline seems out of place here, doesn't it? Yeah, I wonder if it came from the garage. Broken glass and torn fabric littered the floor underneath Cyrus's body. A struggle occurred here, that's for sure. It took place before Cyrus fell. The display case must have broke during the altercation and he was killed sometime after, falling out of the refuse. That makes sense. It seems like the only way the room could have gotten so messy. Well, of course, no one's gonna be cautious about this running when their life's on the line. Luckily, the blowtorch didn't ignite, otherwise we might have come across a fire-consumed scene with nothing but straight evidence. I guess it's lucky. Way he explained it is sauce. So, of course, the gun wound was in front and center in Cyrus's chest, blood had soaked through his shirt, the deep pigment inundating the cloth and oozed onto the carpet. The gun wound very clearly told his cause of death, but my eyes were more curiously drawn to Cyrus's blood-stained hands. One saws his wound. He must have tried in vain to stop the gun wound from bleeding out. Okay, let's left off. We discovered Ash's injured body, and then now we're after here. Ashley's hands were covered in blood. She didn't appear to have any sort of wound, so the blood on her hands could have potentially come from only one place. Did Ashley try to prevent Cyrus's death? If that were the case, whoever shot Cyrus could be the same person who took Ashley out, so she wouldn't reveal the assailant. Should we discuss now? I guess we could discuss now. Yes. Forte. The scene is quite unruly. I'm uncertain whether it would be more or less difficult to determine the culprit in this scenario, considering the many questionable items laying about. Yeah, I suppose what happened to Pandora. This is a bit jarring. Where were you though? I remember seeing you go into the garage with Cannon earlier when we paired off to research the 3rd floor. Yes, and that's precisely where we ended up. Huh? The two of us were investigating the garage as thoroughly as possible but found nothing of note. We then went outside to investigate the other personal room doors at the end of the 3rd floor, living quarters hall. But as you may have figured out already, these personal rooms doors are locked. Ship Carter? Is that what it says? Huh? I heard him mutter something under his breath as he was graced the blue butterfly pin on his scarf, but I couldn't quite understand what he said. Ahem, where was I? Ah, Ken and I then heard the first shot fall. We rushed into the garage and barricaded the door from the inside. You barricade the doors? We thought it would be the best course of action to protect ourselves. Neither of us had the gun, so it had to be someone else. A reasonable conclusion, is it not? After that first shot and through to the 4th, we hid away in the garage until we had a commotion in the 3rd floor halls. It was quite frightening hearing all 4 of those shots in such close vicinity. I never thought we would come upon this gruesome scene. Forte sighed and mournfully looked at Ashley. So Forte and Cannon blocked the door. That explains why the garage side double doors wouldn't open. I approached Cannon as she overlooked the 2 scenes from the doorway opening between the room. You're probably wondering where I was in this afternoon when we departed to search the 3rd floor. I was with Forte in the garage for a large portion of the afternoon, as well as during the duration of the 4 shots fired. He can vouch for my alibi. You and Ashley came upstairs after us, right? Yeah, we did. Didn't run into you two at all, though. We spent most of our time in the garage. We seemed to have the utmost potential for something useful out of the 4 rooms. Cannon silently surveyed the state of Ashley's body, then across the doorway at Cyrus's distant figure. Oh, here's the Monokuma file. I got it from the casino kiosk. Monokuma File 2, Ultimate Student Victim Report. Cyrus. Cause of death. The victim's body was discovered in the 3rd floor smoke lounge. Victim was fatally shot above the heart. The estimated time of death is 12:03. Like Pandora's file, this file isn't just as purposeless in telling us what happened to Cyrus. As for Ashley, I can't say. Do you think she might have been attacked, like hit over the head or something? I guess it's not impossible, but she's pretty tall considering. It would be hard to say what she was attacked with though. There's nothing on the casino side of the door that could be used as a weapon. Our discussion fell flat. You seem a little more open today. Forte and I had a small parley in the garage, and sure he told me I shouldn't try to forego attempts to escape this game. She grumbled under her breath and exhaled sharply. Despite Cannon's frustration, she ended up providing more open conversation today, likely as a result of wishing to avoid being caught in the same voiceless situation she was in during yesterday's trial. What else? What else? Hey. What else can we investigate? This is like a camera or something? Cause I think I tapped everything. Gambling table, the pool, Ashley's body. What if we... Oh, there we go. Lila looked particularly aggravated. This place is a mess. There's no mistaking the fact that a struggle occurred. That seems to be the case. It's a shame I wasn't close when this took place, even after I saw the third floor earlier this morning. I managed to miss something as big as this. Call it bad timing. About that, what were you this afternoon after the fact? Huh? Are you suspecting me? Well, no. It would just been help to know where you were so we can say you're in the clear. I was with Say. Say? But didn't she keep herself locked up in the room all day? Beats me. All I know is that after I heard the second gunshot sound from upstairs, I saw Say poke her head out of her room. I dragged her out for my safety and hauled her around with me to find out where the shots were coming from. We were on the second floor by the time the third shot went off. So you two can vouch for each other's whereabouts? Yeah, what of it? Nothing. So Lyle has an alibi that can be verified by Say. I should talk to Say to see if their stories line up. What passes me the most is, where did a gun even come from? Well, I don't expect you to believe me, but it was in Missy's possession. She bore it out to boldly state that she would not be firing it. She even recommended we travel in groups in case something bad happened. So even if by the off chance someone did fire, we would be in groups, able to witness alongside our partner. Lila was astonished. Really? What kind of tactician would reveal their hand like that? I mean, it was a symbol of trust in a way. I certainly am not going to use it to cause harm, and I really don't think Missy would. That aside, it almost seems like she was micromanaging everyone's expectations and locations by doing so. Lila just scoffed and continued to live over Cyrus's body. Let's talk to Say. Oh, Hecko. Say's hands were trembling. I'm so sorry about Ashley. It's scary, but I'm trying to pull through. It was a relief to see her still breathing, but I need to find out who would have done such ill toward her. That's very noble. If there's anything I can help with, let me know. Actually, yes, there is. What is it? I was stuck in the art gallery when the crime was going on across the hall. Couldn't open the door whatsoever. I heard some footsteps and voices after some time, so I banged on the main hall door. That's right. You were the first person I saw. Do you know why the doors were blocked? Yeah, the double door handle were bound together with rope. My guessing was from the climbing center, so when I heard your voice from the inside, I unwound the rope and you came running out. She demonstrated how she found the rope by replicating the state on the smoke lounge doors. Rope? I went with Ashley to the climbing center. She got rope to bind Cyrus. Did the culprit steal it from her and instead bind the door to lock me in the art gallery? That's strange. I was also wondering where you earlier this afternoon. I know Missy tried to call you out this morning, but you declined. Say's worried brow furrowed deeper. Well, I just thought after the events of yesterday, if someone was going to kill me, it doesn't matter what I do. What was she saying? And what I wanted to do was stay in my room. The killer could break my door down, whatever, but if it was gonna happen, fate would find a way, so be it. You know, after I heard the second gunshot ring outside, I peeked out of curiosity. Who even had a gun in the first place? But it was pointless. Lyle had to drag me out and run me all over the 3 floors just to find a bunch of nothing. Say mumbled a train of thoughts to herself, but didn't seem like she wanted an answering for her pondering. I see. Well, thanks, Say. Say seemed to possess a haphazard reaction to the recent events. Regardless, Lyle confirmed that he and Say were together when they heard the gunshots, and neither of them were where someone had a gun in the first place. Missy. So 4 shots were fired, 4 out of the 5 existing bullets in that gun's chamber. 4 shots, I noticed. However, there are 3 holes in the wall of the smoke lounge. Then those 3 weren't the ones that killed Cyrus. Yes, one bullet is lodged in his chest. The problem is finding out when order these shots were fired. Which one was the one that killed him? Missy furrowed her brow. Echo? Her voice was a hushed whisper. I sincerely hope this hasn't tarnished your view of me. Huh? It's very clear that this crime has my name written all over it. I was the one who revealed the gun to be in my possession. I was the one who left it out in the open, and I have no partner to support my whereabouts during the crime. And despite that, I cannot tell you my alibi. Why not? Huh? Why not? Missy, what would you have me think after you to settle that? Please trust me. I don't know if I can. She sighed. I cannot argue with that. We'll just have to tell the trial discussion command our judgment. I must try to produce a compelling enough argument. Missy. Lowell claims to have been someone on the first floor when the first two shots went off. He convened with Say shortly after hearing them. Neither of them knew there was a gun in the building to begin with. Apparently, Missy wasn't in a comfortable position to reveal her whereabouts. Before being dragged out by Lyle, Say was in her room when the first two shots went off. Neither of them knew anyone had a gun at all. She was the first person I saw mentioning there was a rope binding the gallery door, and she opened it for me. Let's continue. I let out a deep sigh. Conducting an investigation was harrowing. I was exhausted beyond belief. Our group was already so small, yet given everyone's pet alibis, it became difficult to say who was behind this crime. It was difficult to say, barring one person. What was Missy thinking? Had she been lying to us this whole time? Because she's like the most suspect, like the most suspicious person I could think of. No, I couldn't jump to conclusions so quickly. It wouldn't be fair to Missy. Regardless, I had a bad feeling about all this. Okie dokie, you all know what time it is. Freaking 0. It's time for the class trial. I hope you had enough ammunition to shoot down the culprit. If not, then I guess you're all out of luck. The elevator will take you all to the common room once everyone has boarded. To make it snappy, the time of your brace is to release toxic gases set for 10 minutes after this announcement ends. Don't drag your feet. I rubbed my forehead in distress. This vicious cycle we could see the end to continue once more. Why? What about Ashley? Do we just drag her? I went over Ashley's side and sat next to her. I gently placed 2 fingers at her wrist and felt the faint pulse. It was such an eerie feeling knowing Ashley was alive but still so close to death. She better not die after we finish this investigation. Forte laid his hand on my shoulder. Okay, we really ought to get going, lest we find ourselves in danger from Zero's capricious ways. Yeah, you're right. Forte, would you mind? Not at all. Forte lifted Ashley from the knees with ease, carrying her to the elevator. I followed behind him, trying to keep a close distance to Ashley. What a big, strong man Forte is. Once again, our group apprehensively sorted into the elevator. Our community had shrunk by 3, yet in the elevator cab were divided further. Lyle and Say, Cannon and Forte, with Ashley in his arms, myself and Missy. Distrust hacked away whatever threadbare remaining connection we had. But this time, damning signs pointed at one person in particular, Missy Vesper. Missy provided nothing to disprove those signs. Cyrus had been removed from the picture. Ashley was at the cusp of falling. I was confused, hurt, and alone. What was I going to do during this trial? The doors opened and Apron revealed the circular room once more. Oh no! I rushed in and raised my voice, calling out the expanse of nothingness in the room. Zero! Eve! We know there's an infirmary connected to the courtroom, so please help Ashley! With a flash, the symbol of the other evidence Eve appeared. Echo, there's a cross button on the platform in the elevator. The doors will open on the opposite side of the car room, leading into the infirmary. I turned around and the courtroom courtroom side, the elevator door opened. I hopped in and pressed the cross button, opening the door behind me. Forte swiftly carried Ashley in and gently laid her on the infirmary bed. He stepped aside as I clambered to the bedside. Ash, please be okay. It was impossible to tell if she was breathing. Every inhale and exhale was so small and measured. A glass encasing lowered her to cover Ashley, and the monitor above began displaying her vitals. Her heart rate had plummeted to 45 beats per minute. I will do my best to monitor her. Please leave your worries at the door. There's a great matter at hand awaiting you. Yes, Echo, we need to begin the class trial. Her health is out of our hands. We can only do so much. The best thing we can do now is find the culprit. Our discussion will reveal what occurred. Yeah. I steadily stepped back. Ashley, I'll figure out what happened to you. I swear on my life I'll find the culprit. And to avenge Ashley. No one cares about Cyrus. Forte and I left the infirmary, crossing through the elevator that connected the infirmary to trial grounds. Heavy clouds hung over the domed glass ceiling. Everyone was already in their places as Forte and I crept to ours. Another murder. It was unreal. Cyrus's mild and unassuming demeanor made it 180 when his talent of ultimate charisma was revealed to be a ruse. He quickly suffered the consequences, his sudden aggressive temperament coming at a full stop out of nowhere. And Ashley's worrying condition. What could have possibly happened in the 2 rooms we found them in? However, despite the behavior Cyrus displayed, it was too shocking that someone would actually retaliate. Somehow it felt like a hasty overreaction. But then again, a hasty reaction was what essentially pushed Art to bring Pandora's demise. It was difficult to call Art the culprit after their lack of black and white intentions. But in the grand scheme of things, the rules of society were set to deliver retribution to those who commit crimes. Who's to say this place operated under the same conditions? The courtroom was eerily silent as we waited for Zero to appear. The atmosphere was justifiably tense. Lyle and Seisha shared a similar dark vibe. Ken and Forte both looked unnerved, and Missy managed to put up a poker face despite the situation. Yes, it's about time you guys got here. And again, I have to say, it's so weird how quiet you bunch are. And no one amped up for another class trial. I put a lot of work into these, you know. Of course we're not excited, you knave. I miss you so mean. It's a shame no one excited, but this ball's gonna keep rolling whether you like it or not. Class trial all rise. Let's go over the rules, shall we? You're all on trial to figure out who the culprit is of today's heinous crime. The rules are as follows: discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate, and we'll see just what happens from there, yeah? One of your outcome will occur. Determine and vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. To determine and vote correctly, the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of the group's decision. Phew, you just might live to see another day. Our victor today is Cyrus Zurich, the ultimate charisma. More like ultimate nonsense. Was no one suspicious of his name and talent? I would be. It really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that charisma was not really his talent. Regardless, I called out his driver last night and look where we are now. You were quick to take what I said to heart, huh? Well, I'm glad. Saves me from having to get a motive set up and all that. So without further ado, discuss away. Don't mind if I do. Lyle. Missy. You think you know what I'm gonna say, huh? Then say it for yourself. You think I'm the suspect. Ooh, gold star. The point is moot. I'm not the culprit, and that's all I'll say on the matter. And why do you expect me to just roll with that? Because if you all vote incorrectly, then we'll all be in danger. Prove my innocence or take my word for it. Missy, what's going on with you? Don't you think this is a bit too much to ask given the circumstance? I have my convictions. I'm refusing to share my alibi for my own reasons. And you don't feel the consequence? You're ridiculous. I'll lay it out all nice for you, okay? And then we can discuss whether or not holding your tongue is the wisest thing to do in this scenario. Consider the facts. You were not partnered with anyone. You refused to share an alibi, and you were the one who had the gun in the first place. Do you know what killed the victim this time? A gunshot. You're like a proposed traveling group so you could operate on your own. Isn't this all too damning not to be true? Despite her dangerously challenging Lyle, I held my belief in Missy steadfast. I want in all sincerity to trust everyone involved in this horrible game. But considering 2 people have been murdered, 1 executed and 1 attacked, it was become difficult to justify my stance. I didn't understand. What was there for Missy to hide? You know what? Forget it. I'm taking charge of this discussion. Once again, I can only rely on myself. Okay, you're a walking record of events. Tell me why I shouldn't think Missy was alone during the crime. Walking record? I'm not some encyclopedia of evidence. Or a canon, if you have some sort of weird photo, fess up. Echo or canon, I don't care. One of you ought to pipe up with something we can work with. It can't be possible that neither of you two saw anything. Lyle has his sights set on getting something out of me and Canon, but as far as I know, neither of us could have seen anything. Shut up, Lyle. I have no photograph of the sort. But when we were up on the 3rd floor, we didn't see anyone in the halls. I was in the garage with Forte of majority of the afternoon. Yep, as soon as we heard the first shot, I suggested we took the garage and block entry from the 2 doors, the main hall door and the art gallery door. As for me, after shots were fired, I found myself stuck in the gallery. The 3rd floor activity room became blocked. Canon and Forte blocked their garage side doors. And the main side door would just expect to be locked? Hold on, say, can you recall what happened when we met earlier before we discovered Sarah's body, that is? When we met, you came tumbling out of the art gallery when Lyle and I arrived on the 3rd floor. Yes, but I could not leave the room from the inside. Oh yeah. Lyle, when we were on the 3rd floor, there was a bang coming from the gallery. I couldn't check to see what it was inside until I unwound the rope that bound the double doors together. Confluence. Discussion progress. Yes! See, Lyle, there's no way either Ken or I saw anything that happened during the crime. If anything, Sam and Lyle were about ought to be grilled as well, since they could have more questionable actions than us. That's right, Sam, Missy, and you were alone in your personal room for a portion of the morning. Yeah, she declined an invitation to my morning announcement. Yeah. But later I heard 2 shots. I poked my head out, only to get dragged out by my room by Lyle. I was the flickest inmate in the mansion. I figured if anything fishy was going on, I'd have a witness with me to back my testimony. And while nothing happened to us in particular, at least I had to stay there to support my alibi during the gunshot. Despite that, you still were acting suspiciously this morning, smashing the ovens and all. Lyle, don't you think you yourself warrant an explanation for what you were doing? Huh? I don't need to justify anything I'm doing. I'm the ultimate puzzle master, put in an easy game to solve it inside out. If you all have any faith in your ultimate talents, you'll have faith in mine and my goal as well. I don't care if I break the rules, it's all part of the plan. I'll avenge Art, I'll stop the killings. And I'm solving this killing game on my own, come hell or high water. But didn't it occur to you that I'm on the same agenda? What? There aren't any stakes for you, Missy. Art was only a person of account that made my talent worthwhile. I can only trust myself. I'll work alone until I can grasp the solution with my own hands. Only then will it be real. Everyone involved, you're all just pieces of this puzzle. Phil, what has the guy been saying? You're an oddball, Lyle. But thanks for reminding me. Reminding you of what? I know how much power outside the core, believe it or not. Eve mostly controls the monitors, all that outside the boring stuff, but I knew you'd all eventually end up back here soon enough, so I just had to wait. Wait, what? Ah! With a snap, the trap wall slammed into the large and metal hexagon door with the cruel-looking M. Lyle crumpled to the floor as we all backed away astonished at whatever invisible pain was being inflicted upon him. It's a sonic weapon, high-powered sound waves from me personally to Lyle. This is what you get for failing with my door trap. I think Lyle's brain had me frightened enough. There's no fun to suspense behaving and killing game me myself unless I'm executing a culprit. Don't mess with my stuff. Somehow Lyle remained standing. Please, we must move the discussion along. Unless we face a similar dangerous fate, we need to discuss the case. We're here because of you. Lyle was livid, fighting back against collapsing by real or sheer force. I'm taking control of the discussion this time. I come on you to recall as much information as you can about the murder weapon and the gun. What? Who do you think you are demanding such things? I am Lyle Terminator, the ultimate puzzle master. Need I say again? I'll solve this case like I solved all the puzzles that have come my way. Your memories are a tool for solving this, and I'll be damned if I don't use something as instrumental as that. Get to it, Echo. I don't have all day. Alright, I'll try to relay what I remember to you all. Lyle might have it out for Missy, but I'm going over the timeline could help us put it in the clear. Think it would be best to start from when the murder weapon was revealed. Maybe then we can trace who had it in the final moments. Who was originally in possession of the gun? Missy Vespa. Missy Vespa was the one who initially revealed the gun this morning. She said she woke up in her personal room with the gun given to her as a test to see whether or not she belonged with the preservation project. Missy called me and some of the other students to discuss her possessing the gun, who were the other students in the group. Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Cannon. Missy assembled a small group in a meeting. There, she brought up the existence of the weapon to our attention, and discussed her intention with the gun. She would not cause any harm with it. The group consists of Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Cannon as well. Everyone at that morning meeting agreed to place an implicit trust in our peers. Miss left the gun in the foyer. After the meeting, Miss left the gun in the main foyer table wrapped in the cloth she had been carrying it in. After discussing the existence of such weapon, something happened. Lyle was destroying the kitchen. Was it, or was say was poking around the pantry? We discussed the existence of the gun, among other things, until we were up to a loud sound coming from the kitchen. A whole group went over to our house to see what was going on, and there we found Lyle destroying the kitchen oven as means to test the rules. Lyle and I said was with killing and went to the 3rd floor. Lyle said he would solve the killing game and ascended to the 3rd floor to look for more clues, all the while clutching the secret note from yesterday. He left the kitchen and took the elevator up as the rest of us remained in the foyer confused. Shortly after, Cyrus appeared at the top of the 2nd floor, causing someone to act. Cannon. Was it Missy? Yeah, Missy. Shortly after Lyle departed the 1st floor, Cyrus made an appearance at the top of the 2nd floor upstairs. Missy went up to confront Cyrus by having a conversation with him in the jazz club. The rest of us went to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. I believe it's worth mentioning that Cannon and Forte went up first, with me and Ashley following afterward. None of us took the gun. From the looks of it, Missy and Cyrus' conversation in the jazz club is a grey area that none of us are privy to. Can you explain yourself as why we should be suspicious to private altercation moments before his murder? I was attempting to extract information from him. As you all know, he was acting intensely suspicious yesterday. However, rather than avoid him, I thought to take action and confront him head first. You mentioned this before, but can you explain why you think he's putting on a facade? I mean, for all we know, every word out of his mouth could all be a lie. Body language. Huh? Body language? It seems Ken noticed that as well. Cyrus's body language gives off the impression that he is tense, as if he were being pressured or under stress. Actions speak louder than words, after all. That's true, I didn't think he looked like a little more forbidding than usual. Ultimately, did you get anything from him? Unfortunately not, he was just the same stubbornly cryptic person as he was last night. So that's it? And Naka's recollection of people involved with the murder weapon, though, whose name came up several times. Missy. So don't you think your course of action would heavily imply a murder intent that led to his circumstance? Yes, signs are strenuously pointed towards me being the one behind all, but I don't wish to divulge the reason behind those actions. I didn't want to admit it, but I was beginning to have my doubts about Missy. But if this discussion was worth anything, I had to be a test, whether or not I could really trust Missy. She revealed a gun after all, and asked us to tactically trust her. Should I even trust her to begin with? What if she's just grading someone on to be incriminated so she could get away with it? Should I trust Missy? Oh my god. I'm gonna menu and maybe save this game on here, on the prologue. Yes or no? Oh my god, I'm going to, yes, I really want to trust her. I want to believe in her. The mean scrutinizing of actions to her free form suspicion. We couldn't afford to jump to conclusions. If I may, I think we need to turn over as many questionable facts as we can to lift suspicion. I agree that if it is may clearly be painted with Missy's name, but I'm still not convinced that she would have the malicious intent to kill Cyrus. Missy was the one who suggested splitting up to find things that could threaten Cyrus into talking, but she made it clear that she never had an intention of firing the gun. Is that so? It was after she had a conversation with Cyrus in the morning. Our morning group of Canon, Forte, Ashley, and myself paired off to investigate the third floor for an escape route. After some time, Missy met up with me and Ashley outside the garage to talk about Cyrus's weird behavior. It was then that she discussed with Ashley the idea of threatening Cyrus to talk. This was just before the shots began. Then it's clear that she used the opportunity to act alone and retrieve the gun herself to shoot Cyrus. How would bring up that lift suspicion from Missy? If anything, it's more daring proof. That's my cue. Just a minute, please. What if I don't understand this? Why would Missy kill Cyrus if she didn't get the information she wanted? I can only assume the following for her case. She made an attempt to have a civil conversation with Cyrus only to walk away empty-handed. The motivation is lost and there shouldn't be any reason to threaten him further in the case. Oh sure, making something up in advance, will ya? I can't doubt Missy now. She's the one who made the bold move of bringing that gun to our attention. Now I have to trust what she didn't do anything wrong. There's no telling what transpired between Missy and Cyrus, seeing as all of us witnessed her contentious interaction with him in the jazz club. It might take someone to get Lala on the other side. Missy gonna be lying about not getting information, just like how she's withholding her alibi. Give it up, why should we be protecting the culprit? It's not necessary to protect the culprit as it's trusting Missy didn't have malicious intentions. That's nonsense, there's a hard proof in something like trust. If we blindly trusted everyone who just asks us to, nothing would get done. Shoot, he has a point. Trust can be used to prove everything at this stage. Hang on just a minute. We need to discuss every aspect of this case before jumping to any conclusions. I believe there's something at the crime scene that can clear Missy of suspicion. Then out with it. Is there any evidence that can prove Missy's innocence? A blowtorch. Missy doesn't seem to have a connection to blowtorch, so no, I need to reassess. Kiosk. The gun? The only thing I can think of, but I need to spin this into an argument somehow. Although it had been noted several times that the gun puts Missy in a dangerous situation, there's something strange about the gun. Is there? Lyle said there's something I want you to recall for me. But just before discovering the body, you two ran into Missy in the third floor main hall, correct? Yeah, that was right before I helped you out of the art gallery. If that's the case, I want to ask, did you see blood on her hands? Blood on her hands? Nothing of the sort. There's blood on the freaking gun handle. So you didn't see blood stuck to her hands, but there was blood stuck to the handle of the gun. If Missy really did kill Cyrus by shooting him, why didn't she have blood stuck to her hands when you saw her? You wouldn't be able to forget seeing something shocking like blood-stained hands. Oh, wait. Did it actually kill him? No. I would cry if we had to execute Ashley. Simple answer, Missy could have washed her hands. When Sam and I approached the third floor, I saw Missy exit one of the personal rooms. She refused to share her alibi because she must have been planning the crime with an accomplice on the third floor. That's why she was acting fishy when Lala ran into her. Huh? I thought I heard something like that outside the garage doors. Oh yeah, the conversation. I heard parts of a conversation just before I called for help. Now that I think about it, I think I can figure out who was speaking at the time. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around the building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious, I'm doing everything I can't just get out of here like the rest of you. And what were you doing pegging around in one of the third floor personal rooms anyway? How did you even get in there? That is none of your business. So you heard that. Yeah, Sam and I caught Missy in the act. She was poking around in one of the third floor personal rooms. And how do you suppose she entered the room? She entered the room using the resident's bracelet. How else would she have gotten in? The door was still intact, so it's not like Missy broke it down. The resident room bracelet, how could she have acquired such a thing? I can only assume whatever Missy and Sarah talked about earlier might have to do with the fact that she acquired something couldn't possibly belong to her. In fact, the idea alone of her entering someone else's room is cause for concern. That's true. How did she enter someone else's room? The mechanism for room entry lies with a personally assigned bracelet. Similar to how the bracelet grants extraneous functions, the door must default to be unlocked, and only unlock when we're nearby with the corresponding bracelet. The bracelet on a person can unlock doors that don't match to, so Missy entering a room that's not hers implies she can access the alternative means. Well, alternative means? What else? She was speaking to the only other student here that had been revealed to be associated with the killing game, Cyrus. Fine, I yield. Cyrus offered me the bracelet to a student was closely acquainted with. Out of morbid curiosity, I was told to visit her room. Missy withdrew a small rose gold bracelet similar to the ones we all wore ourselves. Who? So yes, not only do I have the bracelet on my person, but I do have a bracelet that does not belong to me. As for what I discovered in the room, well, that's as much as I'd like to say. That's more than enough. There we have it. That explains how she gained entry into the room, as well as lists a reason for her to retaliate against Cyrus. If that doesn't put Missy down for a motive, then I don't know what will. She had such a thing this whole time. How was I supposed to defend something like that? So much evidence has stacked against Missy. Despite the overwhelming number of incriminating facts against her, Missy remained unflinching. It's like she just was waiting. Waiting for what? For us to act on her behalf? Out of trust? Remember, I ought to use the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I have absolutely no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. If Missy withholding it without her alibi, then there must be a reason behind it. I'll have to try to work with it rather than against it. I have to trust Missy's intention, therefore I should try to construct an argument that doesn't involve her. In another angle, I can approach the spy. Before you learn out her activity in the room, we're in the middle of disputing the bloodstained gun. Lala has been aggressively utilizing the connection between Missy and the gun for his argument. But let's say we take her out of the picture, say she never came in contact with the gun. Perhaps we can tackle the argument from a different side. With the gun solely in question, we can ask, who really handled the gun? Who handled the gun? Fine, why don't we entertain the thought? Given the bloodstained handle of the gun, whoever held the gun must have stained the hand in the process. There can only be two people who handled it. Cyrus and Ashley. So there we have it. Echo, do you think Ashley is capable of killing? What? No way, Ash would never. After all, I'm certain she knows of the danger of killing someone. Her own life would be on the line. So what? This is the only explanation plausible if we take your position of Missy's innocence into consideration. If Ashley's life were threatened, don't you think she would retaliate? Anyone would fight back. Fight or flight, Echo. There were clear signs of struggle in the smoke lounge after all. That can't be it. Besides, you confirmed it yourself. We recognize that everyone has an alibi. And we've been neglecting talking about Ashley since she's unconscious. Wait, no. So if you really want to stand by Missy being trustworthy, then you have to realize there must be someone else within our group that killed him. Ash doesn't have a motive either. Yes, she does. Echo, think about it. Throw away your relation to Ashley and think logically. Just because she isn't here to defend herself doesn't mean she is immune to being suspected. No. No. My head was pounding. I began to feel dizzy. If Ashley had the rope, then we were together on the second floor. There was no rope to be found at the crime scene. She must have bound the double doors of the gallery. So confirmed that the rope kept me locked in the gallery. Ashley yelled out and left to confront something. Something? You mean someone? If you think about whoever handled the gun, it can't really be those two people. No, just no. You're lying. Ashley would never. No. I don't want to think about it. Please. Stop this. Stop what? Just stop the trial? They don't want to discuss Ashley's involvement due to their close relation, but there might be something important that we're missing. Something important that Echo only knows. Echo is guarding something, but they painted themselves into a corner. There's no clean way to get out of this mess. Yikes. Echo, you good over there? I can't accept this. If Echo refuses to understand that Ashley is the only person who is capable of handling the gun and shooting Cyrus, then I'll have to lay out all the pieces for them. Huh? Puzzle pieces as always. Echo, allow me to discuss the facts. All of them. Even the unsavory, trifling matters will come into play, just like when you were the one who knows us slipped up. If you insist on protecting Missy, there's one person whose actions remain to be scrutinized. And Ashley is the culprit in question. Do I have any objections? I apologize, Echo, but this topic cannot be ignored. Yeah, this is pretty important. The rest of the class remained silent as Echo glared a hole in me. Again, let us begin with the weapon, the mysterious gun that came from Missy's possession. Seeing as the gun handle was stained with blood, we can summarize only 2 people were in contact with it. As we found on the crime scene, both Cyrus and Ashley had blood stains all over their hands, which would naturally lead us to believe one of them fired the gun. I concur with that assumption. As for how I came to appear on the 3rd floor, just before the gunfire occurred, Ashley and I hatched a plan to confront Cyrus. I was to use the gun to show threat. However, when I went to retrieve from the foyer, I was missing before I got to it. It's plausible Cyrus got to before you. Regretfully so. At the speculated time in question, Cyrus is the only possible suspect to have initially retrieved the gun, since Echo, Ashley, Ken, and Forte were elsewhere. Now, I believe we got a lottery based on the sound heard. There were 4 shots fired in total. In that case, we need to determine the order and relevance of each shot. Ken and I boarded the garage on the 3rd floor after the first shot rang out from the smoke lounge. We sheltered ourselves inside from there on out. And I ended up hiding out for a second, but we were all the way on the 1st floor. So we can determine these 4 true shots were not the life-threatening ones, since no one was with the vicinity of the smoke lounge, and there were 2 gunshots in the wall. However, between the 2nd and 3rd shot is where Ashley's alibi becomes problematic. You're wrong. There's nothing wrong with Ashley's alibi. I can verify it for her. Oh, no you can't. I was with Ashley from when she went to the 2nd floor to the climbing center as which went to the 3rd floor. I never let out on my side the entire time we were traveling up and down up the stairs. Damn, Echo's thoughts and judgment were clouded by the relation to Ashley. I have to focus somewhere in Echo's statement that lay the facts straight so they can understand. What clue proves Echo and Ashley were separated? Not the kiosk. The rope? No, allow on his account? Then is it the rope? You're missing a piece in your argument. But didn't you say Ashley shoved you in the art gallery just before you heard the 3rd shot? The rope binding the doors proved that there was a moment that you 2 were separated from sight. It's possible that she entered the smoke lounge in that time frame. In that case, the 4th and final shot ought to be the one that killed Cyrus. The only person left without an alibi, it gives Echo testimony of the couple's last movements. The only person left is Ashley. That can't be it. No, Ash yelled Missy's name. It's possible that Missy was with the vicinity of the smoke lounge. After all, Missy's actions on the 3rd floor were so strange, we can't ignore that. Echo's struggling, trying to protect Ashley. What do we do? If there's anything we can think of that will cut through Echo's lies, tell them the truth is out there. No, Ash yelled Missy's name. Huh. Wait just a minute. Wait, that's not possible. Remember the hell now saw Missy exiting a personal room. She had just come out of the personal room when we arrived and then began to act suspiciously. I suppose I would have surrendered holding my tongue. Yes, I was withholding on my alibi earlier, but the point of secrecy has passed now, that my whereabouts have come into direct question. I kept my alibi secret to begin today's deliberation with immediate marine disillusionment. I confess, Cyrus bestowed upon me a terrible gift, this bracelet. It allowed me to access a room that was not mine. A room belonging to a close personal acquaintance, one I hold in my thoughts often. I entered the room upon Cyrus's taunting instruction that I see for myself what's become of this person. I discovered nothing, save for my fears becoming reality. My alibi is simply as follows. I did not leave the third floor personal room I gained entry to after I heard the second gunshot. Therefore, I did not see Ashley on the third floor at all. It took long enough to get the testimony out of you. But in that case, Ashley really is the only possible person to have encountered Cyrus in the smoke lounge. Therefore, we can assume from the appearance of the room that Ashley and Cyrus fought in the direction of the time between the third and fourth shot. The smoke lounge was in a state of disarray, but the casino wasn't. Ashley's body was found in the casino's false poultry, never from the smoke lounge. No, there's no visible evidence of the two fighting. The two being separated means they didn't get into strife. Echo needs to see the truth. Turning a blind eye is doing more harm than good. There's a clear answer, we just need to bring the truth to light. Echo knows very well there were clear signs of strife. Okay, your judgment is clouded, and I think you know that. There was glass and blood near Ashley's unconscious body in the casino that could have only come from one place. The casino itself was spotless, free of signs of struggle. The detritus leading from the smoke lounge to the casino, however, tells a different story. With all these facts in mind, let's review. We had discovered everyone's pet alibis. Macy's room activity and Echo's entrapment in the art gallery in relation to the gunshot timeline free some false suspicion. We also determined Cyrus was the one who was initially wielding the gun and that Ashley had plans to counter Cyrus's scheme. In a small period during which Ashley and Echo were separated, a struggle occurred between Ashley and Cyrus in the smoke lounge just across the hall, resulting in the disorderly state of the room. And yet at the end of it, one person came out alive and the other dead. Echo, you have to see that the couple behind this plan as Day. What? No. Face the facts. There's only one possible answer. I refuse. I don't even recall Ash considering Cyrus a threat, so what motive would she have to kill him anyway? Echo, why are you lying? That couldn't be further from the truth. There must be anyone else involved. Anyone but her. Jeez. Echo, you really are a stubborn one. Don't you understand the danger we're in? Please, Echo, I understand that this is a painful realization for you. We're just as mortified that such a dreadful thing has happened. It's awful, but there has to be a reason, right? No. If there is a reason, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would Ash endanger herself like this? Throwing her life away like this? It seems so careless. There's something else that needs to be brought to Echo's attention. I don't know what's going on. Allow me to warn you, depth of field. Believe me, I have the answer. Or rather, we all do. It seems Echo didn't see the kiosk message. Kiosk message? Remember the digital kiosk can deliver dictated messages across other kiosks in the building. That's correct. Ken and I saw the message read out of the gunfire in the garage. This message was dictated from the smoke lounge sometime after the third shot was fired. I recall it read, "Kill Echo." Yep, that's exactly right. No one asked you. Oh! I remember now. Lyle and I saw the second floor kiosk light up when we were running by. Come on. You heard the gunfire too, right? So far there have been 3 shots, but where the hell did the gun come from? How should I know? Hey, slow down, I can't keep up. We can't take our sweet time in a moment like this, Lyle, look. The kiosk is displaying a message. Kill Echo? The smoke cloud is down on the 3rd floor. So Cyrus wanted to kill us. No. So Ashley was like, I can't kill Echo, I'll kill you instead. I never saw such a thing, but it's awfully damning in what it is implying. I concur it's quite a funny message. In that case, we can assume that Echo might have actually been Cyrus's intended target. Echo actually didn't endanger herself out of carelessness, but for your sake. She threw her life onto the fray to keep you safe. Then there should be little doubt that the 4th shot must have been the one to kill Cyrus. The shot fired after Ashley left Echo's side. I don't understand. Why for me? I'm not like the rest of you. I'm no ultimate student. I can't survive this trap between ultimates. I don't have skills or talents to offer the world. It should have been me, at the opposite end of the gun. Pardon me. The voice of Eve imparted the looming courtroom silence. I have an update on Ashley's health. She is steadily recovering at the moment. She's okay. However, I discovered traces of Complex 53 in her system. Complex 53? Is that not the very substance Zero threatened time and time again to release? Yes, I examined the bracelet in her possession, and it appears the glass fiber has been shed, allowing the liquid to enter her system via absorption through skin. Shattered. It's plausible that it broke from some kind of impact from Cyrus and Ashley's fight. Just a minute. The bracelet in possession is it not her own bracelet? It is not. She had in her possession the bracelet of Silver Power. Ashley's bracelet is still intact. If she had Silver's bracelet, then there's no doubt she had a clear motive. It's possible she was goaded on by Cyrus with the bracelet of an important figure, just as Missy was. No way, Cyrus probably just breathed Val himself and administered the liquid to Josh during their fight. Or Zero could have unleashed it to harm her. Zero's killing him announcement always talks about toxic gases, so it's possible he's the one behind it. Damn it, Echo. I'm tired of this. You still refuse to accept the reality of this case? Zero can't have done it, and I'll tell you why it's simply not even up for debate. I was testing the rules earlier this morning, right? Rule 4 states that breaking major assets is strictly prohibited, but nothing happened all day. It was only until the beginning of this very trial I suffered the effects of Zero's sonic weapon as punishment for breaking the rules. If he wanted to enter the trial ground to punish me, why would he unleash the Complex 53 toxin if there were any signs of Ashley's breaking the rule? Zero, did you not release Complex 53 onto Ashley? What? I'm only the arbiter of this game. Answer. Nope, didn't do it. No, this can't be. You still don't get it? We've been running around in circles in this trial because you vehemently refuse to face the truth. Don't you have any value in your life? Your lapse in judgment is what will get us all killed. Lyle, have some sympathy, won't you? But I have to agree with you, Echo, please. The trial is difficult enough to participate in, but it's necessary to determine the culprit for our safety. Allow yourself to be selfish and act on self-preservation instead of the well-being of others. Don't concern yourself with protecting me. Don't concern yourself with speaking for Ashley. You're only hurting yourself if we judge this case incorrectly. Just follow the truth and you can protect yourself. I know we're asking for a lot since the truth isn't what you want to hear, but please. Protect myself? What did that mean? I thought I had to protect Missy by half on trust. She placed her faith in us after all. And I had to protect Ashley because she's my closest friend, but myself? I felt stuck. I know Missy didn't kill Cyrus, I just know it. And it was impossible for anyone else to have killed him, so the answer was clear as day. I just didn't want to accept it. But by doing so, I was drawing out this trial of my own self-indulgence, and dragging everyone else through this hell. I've forgotten the reason we were here to save ourselves, and I purposely suppressed the fact that there was someone on the crime that has solidified Ashley's involvement. I saw the damning thing, and I chose to forget it. Yes, the weapon was undebatable. The culprit had a motive. The struggle showed traces of her involvement. The person who fought Cyrus and eventually won is... Ashley Westbridge killed Cyrus Zurich. Ashley. Wait, she's here? I'm gonna take this flowing conversation to assume you're all done discussing the case, yeah? After all, it was pretty obvious from the start. Well, whatever, this is your space anyway, so without further ado, it's voting time! Oh, I have no choice but to vote Ashley. I don't want to. Damn. Guilty, oh no. Ding ding ding. Yes, the culprit responsible for the murder of Cyrus Zurich is none other than the ultimate jockey, Ashley Westbridge. And almost all of you all voted correctly. Luckily, majority rule, so it's punishment time! Class trial adjourned. Wait, what did you mean by that? Almost all of us voted correctly? Well, I guess my fault for not mentioning that not voting is a big no-no. The voting should be common sense. You have a responsibility to make your voice heard, lives on the line. Or something like that, Missy would know. Don't remember this is a asinine argument. Think of it this way, you're voting for the lesser of two evils, punish one person for breaking a crime and punish everyone for being ignorant. But I can see no case that they figured out, so I suppose we'll call it a vote. Aren't I just the nicest, most flexible judge ever? Okay, you didn't vote. How could I? Bruh, I voted! Unbelievable. Everyone's lives are at stake and you still have the audacity to protect the culprit? You're a hopeless case, Echo. I don't understand how you fail to recognize the weight of actions. The truth is glaring obvious, yet you continue to turn away. You have no perception of consequence. How dare you refuse to give your all in order to save yourself? Why are you attacking me? This thing that just happened to be our best friend is awful. Did you know how I feel too, Lyle? We've already lost 3 friends. Why does the cycle keep turning? Of course I know how you feel, but it's pointless to let things spin out like this. That's why I'm trying my best to solve this killing game. I don't need you turning your cheek away from reality. That will only make things worse. Damn it. I looked over to Ashley, who recovered enough strength to join us in the courtroom at the last moments of our discussion. Ash, I don't get it. To protect me, you threw yourself into danger. And look where it got you, at the foot of an execution. Ash, you're such an idiot. How could you do something so careless? We're gonna watch our best friend die. Echo, I thought about nothing but your safety. Huh? All I ever wanted is safety and health of my friends. But look what trouble I get everyone into. There's Silva, now Echo. Maybe it's better like this. Don't say that! Echo, you don't have to worry about me anymore. Thank goodness, right? If I was in that trial, it wouldn't have budged, and you might have voted Missy off instead. At least you know you can trust her. What are you saying? I thought that if I could remove a threat from this horrible game, my actions would have been worth it. But it turns out Cyrus was just asking for this. Cyrus used Silver's bracelet as a sure threat, that the reason he had it and Silver didn't was because... Cyrus said that I had eliminated him, isn't that right? He said the same to me when I received my additional bracelet. Cyrus, ultimate confidential informant, knew things we would soon rather forget, and used that information to get under our skin. I told you someone to be wary of. So Ashley essentially lost us the Preservation Project's mole? What if he had information that could have gotten us out? Oh, he had information alright, but he would never tell. Zero's right. When I confronted him to inquire about his facade, he kept dodging my questions. He was acting so odd, and as it appears his strange behavior went all according to plan. He was acting suspicious to invite someone into attacking him, and I completely fell for it. I'm not gonna end this after we see Ashley's execution. But I felt terrible after because when he collapsed, his aggressive facade faded and he laughed. He was glad. We'll end this video after we see her execution. Yes, Cyrus fully intended to take someone down with him. Ashley fired those initial 2 shots to draw attention. I arrived. Cyrus fired those initial shots to draw attention. I arrived on the 3rd floor with Echo. I ushered Echo into the gallery and bound the doors with rope from the Academy Center. I confronted Cyrus in the smoke lounge and he fired right away. The 3rd shot was a near miss. Cyrus! Not a step closer, Ashley. Unless you'd like to end up like your friend Silver. What do you mean? What do you know about Silver? Oh, I know everything there is to know. Find out records, personal records, etc. After all, I am the ultimate confidential informant. My job is to seek information about the Preservation Project subjects. I personally saw to his removal. And you're next. Not if I have anything to say about it. Yeah, I'd act fast if I were you. You wouldn't want to go down in flames without getting the information you want, would ya? How about his racing helmet end up in your room? Mine by yours truly, of course. The expensive vehicle is 94 Lister Storm, the very vehicle that is in the garage right now. Cyrus threatened me with an awful trinket and the time limit he prepared to spill gasoline, and had a blowtorch ready to burn the room down if I didn't act. I fought to keep him at bay. He eventually dropped the gun. I retrieved the gun and gripped the handle fiercely, but Cyrus remained completely cool. He noticed my hesitance and silently tossed a tiny rose gold bracelet in my direction. I snatched it out of the air, turned over, and my hands revealed the name engraved into it. Silver Power. What will it be, Ashley? Silver didn't have long to live anyways. Quiet. This isn't right. Why put us through this awful game for the sake of the future? I'm not an ultimate student. Let's play a game. There's 2 more bullets somewhere in that chamber. If you fire and I'll live, I'll let you walk away scot-free. Your hands will be clean and you are meant to be an ultimate student, born to benefit the world. If you fire and I die, then... Of course you know what happens. But in his last moments he lost a chuckle and a sigh of relief. He looked relaxed. He looked as calm as when we first met him. I was confused. Why wasn't he fighting back at all? You're a tough nut to crack, you know. What are you doing? I'm trying to save you. I know I took a chance with that shot, but there has to be another answer. The Preservation Project is a miserable organization that I contributed to. I rallied this group of ultimate students, complied all the information I could about you all for the project. The project and their game. It's a cruel experiment, all for the sake of the future. Why are you telling me this? So I feel guilty about killing me. But how could I not feel guilty? There could have been some other way to get you out of this mess, Cyrus. I don't understand why. Did it have to come to this? Because I thought I had an immunity from the game, but when Zero called me out for my cover talent, I knew something was wrong. Why would Zero, an arbiter of the killing game conducted by the Preservation Project, wish to ruin my place in the game? Something was wrong. It's all wrong. This whole game is all wrong. I couldn't wrap my head around the thing he was saying. I didn't dare to wish to know what he was talking about, but... What's wrong? He coughed out a small chuckle. This. I made you do a horrible thing. The problem with the game is that you become attached to the ones you're with. As time goes on, bonds are made with strangers you eventually come to call your friends. I should have never run myself with you all. I couldn't read his eyes. I knew it would be too painful. And you might hate me for this, but it's for the best. For you and me, winning the game is nothing but smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, but thank you for helping me escape this game. He held my hands in his own trembling grasp, but kept pushing my attempts out, slopping his suffering away. After I shut him, I knew immediately what terrible fate I found myself in. I was tethered to meet the same end the movement I fell into his trap. I fled the scene like a mess, because I knew it would be pointless to conceal the truth. But even then I knew that a trial discussion would trace back to my incrimination. That's why I went so far as to shadow the level of Complex 53 into this bracelet to take myself out of the picture. Ash! Why would you do such a thing yourself? It's awful. I know. Please don't hate me. And forgive me for making such a selfish request, but all I ask is that you live and survive. I did it all for you. Oh, that's sweet. What's it bad for you that sickly sweet sentimentalism is not gonna save you from your execution, silly? Murder is murder. What's the thing you say? Oh, there's no grey area about it. No, wait. There's no stopping this freight train of despair, Echo. You are among the ones who sought her fate after all. So sit back and enjoy the show. Oh shit, no. As she hand slipped through mine, she disappeared into the black as I collapsed over myself. All I could do was pull myself up, but was keep my focus squarely on Ashley as her horrified visage was protected for us to grimace upon. I tried to soak up my final moments with her, even though I knew they were going to be gruesome. Ashley was chained to a metal post, and a satchel wearing spun on my skull as a set of arms began to wind up. Clutched at the end of each arm was a horseshoe. Ashley was bound in the direct path across the massive grinding machinery 40 feet away. Ashley's expression was taut. There was only one way out of this game for her, and it was winding up in front of her, just a few paces away. The first pitch was thrown. The light clink at the arm released the horseshoe, made my heart drop. It missed with a full thud on the dirt behind Ashley. A second, third, fourth, sixth pitches were thrown. Where's fifth? With wild abandon, as if purposely missing to prolong my own suffering, the anticipation was miserable. Ashley's gross, sorrowful eyes seemed to meet mine from within the projector screen. I couldn't look any longer. I felt sick. I turned away in agony and heard the distinct sound of breaking bone. Ultimate executed by horseshoes? I could feel the life drain from my body. There was nothing but pain during her last moments, the pain that destroyed her body. The pain that stung in her heart. Ooh, it's so satisfying building up with this hope and shit, eventually strike down with this decisive skill. Shut up, Zero. It's a little boring though, your participants killing for defensive reasons. We didn't even give a motive, which was a bit of a curveball, but interesting that a motive card nonetheless. Well, I mean, I suppose I did put Cyrus on blast for conniving with the Preservation Project group. He got in the way of the game after all, so I guess it's a bit beneficial for me in the end. The whole time in my head spin, I felt wretched. I sat the phone, not a breath was heard from the others. They just seemed as stunned to silence. And in the depths of our devastation, ears, Zoe voice crept in. I beseech you all to keep the memories of your friends close. It's awful. I don't want to remove this. Remain strong. As I nursed Ashley back to health, she kept asking aloud, is Echo okay? Is Echo okay? She cared for you until her last breath. Don't think for a second she didn't put everything on the line for you. But why me? I apologize. I cannot say for certain what she was thinking except Ashley without depth, care for you deeply. Oh, I gotta end this here. Cause my god. Just oh my god. Just why? Why did it have to be Ashley? I thought for sure it was Missy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my... Wait, okay, so our best friend's dead. So right now, Art is dead, Pandora is dead. Missy is dead. No, sorry. Cyrus is dead and Ashley is dead. We have, 6 remaining students? Oh, bro. It's really, God. I guess there's no way we're gonna get Ashley back, unfortunately. I thought we were gonna escape this place with Ashley, but no, she had to die. Well, okay, well, this was definitely an interesting episode. Unfortunately, we cut our best friend. That was the most sad part. Her death was also very sad. But, I guess then, everybody, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. Bye bye.